So let's bear the heavy!
Okay, we are now recording.
Alright, let's go.
So I wanted to ask you, how did you come up with your name and like what does it mean to you?
Alright, so that's a really complicated question that everyone asks me about it. Because the truth is, I did it when I was like 15. And I'm sure there was like a big meaning, and when I was 15, I'm sure I would give like a 3-hour lecture explaining why I picked his name. But I have no idea why I picked it anymore. I completely forgot about it. But what's really cool about it is what it means to me now, like after I picked the name. Because around a year or so after I picked my name, I moved to Canada. And in Canada, my Brazilian name was very hard for the Canadians to pronounce, right? Because my birth name is Francisco, but all the Canadians would pronounce it as Francesco or Francisco, or just came up with a random butchering of my name. And no matter how hard I tried, they would never pronounce the name right. So I just started going by Gio. And for the time that I spent living in Canada, that was my name. I was Gio. So Gio Sunsetmoth wasn't just a stage name, it was like my name while I was living there. And on a trip to Portland, I ended up buying an actual sunset moth, which is a type of moth that's native to, I think, Peru or something. Yeah, Peru or Africa, one of these two places. And I carry it around whenever I, kind of became like my lucky charm, you know? When I used to go to video gaming tournaments, I used to get it on my backpack, or like before the hard test at high school and shit, I was to carry my sunset moth with me. So my name kind of gained more meaning after I picked it, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I picked it, it barely had any meaning, but like as time went on, it kind of like started getting meaning as it brought it in my life, you know?
Yeah, that's very interesting. So when did you start making music officially, and when did you start taking it seriously?
I started making music officially when I was 14. It was like the week I first heard Young Lean. I listened to Hennessy and Sailor Moon, and I was like, shit, I need to be doing this shit, you know? Because from like 10 to 13 years old, I was a fucking K-pop fan, and I didn't even like K-pop. I was just like too afraid to dive into other music genres. And then vaporwave and cloud rap kind of like pulled me out of K-pop, and I'm so eternally grateful for that. And it was just so DIY, and like it was just a bunch of teenagers having fun, and that was such a huge contrast from like the super billion-dollar companies behind K-pop. I was like, shit, that's something I need to get on. So yeah, pretty much as soon as I heard my first Young Lean song, I started making music because I wanted to be Young Lean. And I was 14 at the time. And my music fucking sucked. Like, it was really, really bad. Because I was using GarageBand for a solid while. I was just like assuming that music theory was just a hoax, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And my music was so bad. And like right now it's all deleted and shit. I used to go by a different stage name that I don't even remember right now. And then I deleted it all because I was an angsty teenager and I had a fight with this girl, and I was, I'm sad, I'm gonna stop making music, I'll delete all my tracks. Which I did. Which was really good, because once I came back to music like 6 months later, I started like actually trying to learn, and now I had a new stage name, which is Gio Sunsetmoth. And I started doing shit and improving as an artist, and now, like, I believe that I'm a pretty good artist, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I've been making music since 2016. I've been making music under Sunsetmoth since 2017. And I've been making good music under Sunsetmoth since, like, 2019.
So were you always interested in making hyperpop, or did that kind of come a little later on?
Yeah, I think I kind of always like this experimental type of music. Like Death Grips has always been a big influence. JPEG Mafia. I don't sound like either of these artists, but it's more like my creative process and my design philosophy when I'm making music. And when I first heard 100 Gex, like this was before they blew up. They had just dropped their album. I was like, shit, this is the type of music I've been wanting to make, and I didn't even know what it sounded like, you know? When I heard 1,000 Gex, I was like, this is the sound that I've been looking for months, and I hadn't reached so far, but now I know exactly what it sounds like, and I'm just gonna get on this train and play with it and experiment and shit. And I think that the result ended up being Oak 22, right? The song that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you think it is about that particular sound that really intrigues you?
It's just fun, you know? Experimental music is usually like edgy and harsh and abrasive. And I like that. I fucking love it. I love Death Grips. I love Boris. I love all these experimental rap acts. But like, I'm not this kind of person. When I'm making music, I want to reflect my personality in the music that I'm making. And hyperpop is just like this full ADHD, high energy and shit going on. And I just think that that's the kind of person I am. It's what I would like to put out in my music, you know?
Yeah, totally. I respect that.
Yeah.
And
I can do boom bap for shit because, like, I don't feel like it matches my personality. You know, the music I make needs to match who I am as a person. Even if I'm capping in the lyrics, like, I cap all fucking day. I'm the biggest capper on my lyrics. But at least, like, the personality matches, you know?
would you say that there, and if there is, would you mention some key differences between the music scene in Brazil and the music scene in the United States?
Yeah, so I hope there's no Brazilian watching this because I really dislike the Brazilian scene. There's some good artists here and there, like I like MC Gu, I like MC Gu. Yep, pretty sure he's the only one I actually like. The thing about the Brazilian scene to me is that it's just so derivative from the American scene that it just feels like I'm listening to more of the same, you know? I can't say that there's really like any artist in the Brazilian scene that's like pushing the boundaries of the genre and doing shit that I haven't heard before. It just sounds like whatever's going on in the American scene, but watered down and done in Portuguese. And like, there are good songs, there are catchy songs. I'm sure that if I turn on the trap radio from here and listen to, I don't know, Matue right now, it's gonna be a good song that I'm gonna vibe with. But I'm not compelled to follow the scene, you know, because there ain't gonna be anything that I haven't heard before.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
So,
Like, Brazilians always tell me I'm wrong. They always say that the scene is super innovative and shit, and there are lots of good artists. So, like, if there's any Brazilians listening to me right now, they're likely behind a computer screen saying, "You were wrong, Gio Sunsetmoth. You were a grade 8 liar. Liar's pants on fire." But that's my opinion. That's just how I view the scene.
Joe, do you have any plans to play some shows here in the United States?
Yeah, definitely. So, you might know that I'm like with Alchemy Gang, so
Yeah.
David John, Love Kills, Young Sid, all these kind of people. Right now, I can't go to the U.S. because of my visa situation and all that. But we always talk about like next year, the year after that, I start pulling up to the shows and like going on tours with them and shit. It's definitely something that's in our plans. It's not achievable right now, but as soon as it is, I'm gonna go and get it. I actually only played a show once, and it was at this cafe thing, like an open mic night. So I'm really excited to get back into that because the pandemic happened, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, serious, very, very serious question here.
All right.
Would
I'm ready. I love questions.
Would I look good in a skirt?
Definitely go for it, man. Like, it's not only the skirt, okay? I have a big criticism against guys that use skirts. Most of them just think that throwing in a skirt with any outfit is gonna work.
Yeah.
You gotta work the skirt into the outfit, you know? Like, it needs to be part of the whole, you know, not just a skirt that you throw in and you get a bonus skirt points in the gender-defying tally.
Well,
Yeah.
on a more serious note,
All right. No, that was a very serious note.
that was
That's
very
like
serious.
what's being discussed right now. That's what people come in to really be part of the skirt discourse, right? That's what other rappers talking about. Skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very serious, but what I wanted to ask is if any of your listeners that listen to your music, what is one message you want them to take from your music?
Oh man, that's a hard question. Shit.
Just to be themselves, or?
Yeah, something like that. Like, I feel like every time I make music, my goal with every song that I make is always, what have I not done before? And what can I do to make the music more me, you know? And I think that this is something that you should do in any creative field that you're following. Like, if you make music, if you make YouTube videos, if you're an artist, or even if you don't work a creative job, just if you like to dress up and go out there and be yourself, always ask yourself if you are being something that only you can be, if you're making something that only you can make, you know? If the work that you're putting into something is work that no one else on the planet could be putting into that thing except for you. That's what I want you guys to think at any time you're putting effort into something in your lives. It needs to be yours.
Well, that's awesome. I respect that. And I got one last question for you.
Perfect. I love questions.
Where do you want yourself to be in the next 5 years?
Oh man, job interview time. Yeah, I definitely want to grow as an artist. I want to stay in the underground, not because I am against blowing up. Like, if I could blow up, I love it. But I feel like to blow up, I have to change up my style, and that's not something I want to do. So I want to grow my music career, stay on the underground, like, find out Oliver Francis' side. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a writer. Right now, I'm actually working on a TV show that I'm gonna pitch to studios that I plan on working on it while I work on my music career. So 5 years from now, I hope to still be working on this TV show. I hope it gets picked up by a studio. I hope like people are talking about it online. People are talking about my songs. I want to be in the public discourse. You know, I don't care about the numbers as much as I care about the comments. I want to know what people are thinking about me. And so doing things that make people think and talk and discuss and get into beef online. I want people to get post-blocked over the shit I do, you know?
Yeah.
5 years from now, I want to be the person that's getting people post-locked left and right on Facebook.